In this episode, we're going to take a closer look at a team that has a special place within the Masacote family, the Masa 2 team. Here to tell us more about it is Joel Masacote.
Masa 2 is a training program for anyone who is interested in pursuing dance as a career within Masacote. We utilize the program to kind of help build staff and build performers for the pro team. Whenever we have like big productions and we need extra bodies to actually fill into those productions, this is what Masa 2 is about. The type of training that we go into is a lot of isolation, rhythmic isolation, in the sense of them understanding the nature of time and how it's perceived in the body from the intention of it that creates motion, sound in some form, but it's an intuitive internal sound. So they're kind of tapping into their own sense of musicianship within themselves by understanding rhythm, understanding the concepts of time, the nature of past, present, and future, and how it's related to the dance. A lot of the movements that we go into is based in the Afro-Cuban movements, rumba, and today we did a lot of folklore dance, which dealt with chango. The main ones we focused on today was chango, was the orisha of lightning, thunder, male power, sexuality. So a lot of his movement deals with strength, confidence, and his movement within the dance allows the body to fully open up and tap into a sense of rhythm that generates power within the body. Also Oya, and Oya is the orisha of wind, breeze, anything like subtle. It could go from the subtle nature of breeze into like a strength of natural forces of hurricane and different things. She's a representation of those elements, and within the rhythm itself, her motion is really, it's subtle. It's like a flow. It's almost like a not trance-like, but it's bouncy and it's fluid in the same representation of what the characteristics of what she represents. By going through all of this, I find that the Cuban culture or the Yoruba culture that exists within the Cuban culture, it's integrated. The nature of masculine and feminine and how they interact with each other and switching in and out provides a really solid foundation for the dancers to really open up to a natural self-expression with the movement, music, sound. The experience that we're creating is that they're stripping the compartmentalizing formats that we have on a societal view that we keep in our mind, and allowing everything to feel just like one experience, so that when it comes to expression, they don't have any limitations of how to leave from one ear to the next. It's all based on motion, switching in and out of motion. I have a couple different arts under my belt. When I was very young, I trained in Taekwondo. I did 8 years in the military, and I was a martial arts instructor in the Marine Corps. I did 4 years in the Army and 4 years in the Marine Corps. And while I was in Japan, in the Marine Corps, I studied Shorin Ryu Karate under Grandmaster out there. And now I'm studying Shaolin Kung Fu. And Shaolin Kung Fu is like the mother of all the arts. And within Shaolin Kung Fu, we deal a lot of the Eastern well-being of the body, and a lot of the stuff that deals with Qi, Tai Chi, Qigong, more the internal work that's attached to the breath, prana breathing, and it generates a certain type of energy, so that when we get into like big movements, the guys understand how to breathe efficiently to allow the energy to flow straight through their extremities. Qigong is a practice that deals with understanding how to really engage the chi in the body to replenish the body and realign the body into its proper ratio. And I feel, having a well-rounded training program allows the guys to have a whole bunch of different aspects of, like, pretty much tools to really understand how to replenish mind, body, and soul into one area so that the self-expression is natural. That is a misconception. A lot of people do think of it as simple. It's not a simple group because we're building professional dancers. If you're not putting everything into a plan A and you're constantly banking on plan B, then you're pulling away from the energy of plan A, like to have a reserve just in case. So this training is really them really going in. We'll train this program exactly as how we would do the protein, so that it gets them to in a place where, like I said, they can just switch in. So we might have a little performance here so that they get performance experience, but the intention behind the group is really a professional group where they could easily interchange between the groups when needed. A person interested in coming into the company had to go through the school to actually understand the technique, the different curriculum that we have within the school, so that when they get up here within this group, they're not starting from scratch where we have to focus on rebuilding technique. Everything we do here is to try to get them into a higher level so that they could get into choreography and get into a deeper understanding of themselves through the arts, through this art itself. So the audition process, a lot of the guys already been within the school for about a good 2, 3 years, 4 years before they even audition for this, which give them a good heads up in terms of what to expect as they're coming in. And for us, the instructors and staff, it allows us to really push more as well, because we're pushing ourselves in here as we're training them too, because everything is as a unit, in a sense of teamwork, to kind of like cell, like a big, we're creating like a cell to kind of be moving back and forth on stage, but in unison. And the camaraderie, the morale, all that is important in understanding the nature of listening to each other, connecting with each other, being one with each other, being one with themselves, and being able to share that experience so that they could transmit and express it for the audience to receive it the same way how we intended to be.